Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you are keeping safe. So please continue to stay safe. God will continue to keep us in Jesus' name. Amen. Alright, so today we are starting the video class for third term SS2 work. So we are starting with the first topic in the scheme of work that I sent to you. That's revision of tenses. Revision of tenses. Tenses is one of the topics that we are familiar with, that we've learned over and over in the past. So today's lecture is more of trying to recall what we've learned about tenses in the past. So before we go into the topic in detail, let's look at our learning objectives. Our learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to define tense. Students should be able to define tense. Number two, students should be able to mention the three main aspects of tense and their subdivisions. There are three main aspects of tense. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to mention these three main aspects and also their subdivisions. And the last learning objective is at the end of the lesson, you should be able to give examples to illustrate these different types of tenses. You should be able to give examples to illustrate the different types of tenses. Now let's proceed to the class in detail. The very first thing we are going to do now is to define our tense. We're going to go to the definition of tense. What is a tense? A tense is used in speech and writing for time reference. We use tense in speech and writing for time reference. In speech means when we are talking. We use tense to illustrate time reference when we are talking and also when we are writing. All right, I remember last time I told you that tenses are discussed in relation to verbs. Now, what is a verb? A verb is an action word. A verb is an action word. A verb tells us the action that is going on in a sentence. Now, the work of tense is to tell us the time that the action is taking place in that sentence. Now, we've established that there's an action in a sentence. Now, the verb will tell us exactly the time that the action takes place in the sentence. So that is the work of the tense. Now let's go to the main aspects of tense. We have three main aspects of tense in English language. Three main aspects of tense in English language. The first one is the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. The present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. I'm sure you're familiar with all of this. Present tense, past tense, and the future tense. So we'll just talk briefly about each of them, and then we'll also talk briefly about their other divisions. All right, I hope we're together. All right, let's look at the first aspect. That's the aspect of the present tense. The present tense. Now, in the present tense, the very first subdivision is the simple present tense. The simple present tense. And the simple present tense tells us basically about an habitual action. An action that you do regularly, that you do constantly, an habitual action, things that you do every day that become part of you. It is, normal things that happen. That's when we use our simple present tense. For instance, we sit here every morning. We sit here every morning. Now the verb sit is in the present tense because it's telling us of an habitual action that takes place, almost all the time. We eat. Another example is we eat bread and tea for breakfast every day. We eat bread and tea for breakfast every day. So eat in that sentence is also in the simple present tense to show an habitual action. That's the simple present tense. All right, we go to the second subdivision of the present tense. That's the present continuous tense. The present continuous tense. And the present continuous tense, just like the keyword that we have there, continuous. It shows that the action we're talking about is still going on. The action that we are talking about is still going on as at the time that we are talking. Present continuous tense. All right, for example, James is talking to his friend. James is talking to his friend. Another example, the teacher is teaching the students. The teacher is teaching the students. So the teacher is still in the process of teaching. So it is continuous. It is a continuous action. So it is present continuous tense because the action we are describing, that's the action of teaching, is still going on. All right. Now the third aspect in the present tense is the present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense. Now the present perfect continuous tense tells us about an action that is going on as at the time of speaking or writing. Now that started a while ago and it is still going on at the time of writing. Now in present perfect continuous tense, we make use of has been, HASBEEN, has been, to show that we started it a while ago and it is still continuing as at the time of writing. Now, present perfect continuous tense example is Moses has been working in the hall since 8 o'clock this morning. Moses has been working in the hall since 8 o'clock this morning. Now, it's possible the time we are reporting this sentence is probably 2 o'clock. Yeah. So we are saying that the Moses started his work around 8 o'clock in the morning and is still on it in the hall at the time that we are talking. So it is present perfect continuous tense. All right, so we move on to the second aspect. That's the past tense. The past tense. Also, the past tense is further subdivided into other aspects. That's the simple past tense, the past continuous tense, the past perfect tense, the past perfect continuous tense. So you're going to see the definitions of all of these tenses in your notes. Please take time to run through their definitions and note the salient differences in them. So this is just an highlight of what you have in detail in your notes. So please take time to read the notes and study the examples. All right, let's move on. The simple past tense. The simple past tense simply shows an action that has been completed in the past. That started in the past and it is done. We are done with it. It is an action that has been completed in the past. That's the simple past tense. For example, we enjoyed the party last night. We enjoyed the party last night. Now the party took place last night, probably around 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. or thereabouts, and we are done with it. So we are reporting it this morning that we enjoyed the party. So that's the simple past tense. Alright, the next point here is the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense is used to talk about things happening in a time in the past. It is used to talk about actions that is happening at a time in the past. Actions that are happening at a time in the past. All right, this is just to show us that there's a particular action that was happening, in a continuous manner in the past. An action that was happening in a continuous manner that was ongoing in the past. For example, we were listening to the news when the telephone rang. Now, one thing you should note about continuous tense is that it usually takes the ing form of the verb. You're going to add the ing to the key verb in that sentence. You're going to add the ing form to the key verb in that sentence. For instance, listening. Here now, listening, we have to add ing to the verb listen to show that it is in the continuous form. Show that it is in the continuous form. We were listening to the news excuse me, when the telephone rang. So the action that they were doing at the time that the telephone rang was the fact that they were listening to the news. So they were on it. That was what they were doing in the continuous form. Now let's move to the next aspect. That's the past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is used to express action or circumstance that occurred in the past before some other events. Now, probably yesterday, so many events, must have taken place yesterday. So when you want to illustrate a particular one of the events to show that this particular event took place, but after that event, so many other actions have taken place, then you make use of your past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. For example, we had treated the poem before. We had treated the poem before. Now, obviously, we had treated the poem before shows the HAD here shows that it is in the perfect tense. It is done, it is completed. So many other actions have followed it. So that is the past perfect tense. Now, the last aspect in our past tense section is the past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense. The past perfect continuous tense is used to talk about an action that went up onto a particular time in the past. The past perfect continuous tense. It is an action that continued up to a particular time and ended in the past. Are we together? Past perfect continuous tense is an action that continued, it continued up to a point in the past and ended before other events. Now, let's look at this example. Ade had been driving a truck before he got a job last year. Ade had been driving a truck before he got a job last. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this example. Had been driving. You remember I told you that when you see continuous, you watch out for ing form of that verb. Ing will be added to that verb to show that it is in the continuous form. So Ade had been driving. Now the past perfect form here is this had been. If you look at our previous aspect that we say past perfect tense, you notice the use of had, HAD. Had represents, had shows the use of past perfect. Perfect, it is done, it is totally, completed. But in this case of past perfect continuous tense, we are adding another continuous form of that verb. That's the ing form. That is what makes it different from the past perfect tense. All right, past perfect continuous tense. Example, Ade had been driving the truck. Ade had been driving a truck before he got a job last year. Now, the period that Ade used to drive that truck was, a continuous period of time, but after a while, he stopped before he got another job. So he says, Ade had been driving, that is what he has been doing, in a continuous form before he got a job last year. All right, so please and please, I will reiterate again that you should take your time to study the definitions of these different tense aspects, note their salient differences, and be able to back it up with your own examples. All right, we proceed now to the third aspect. Now that's the future tense. That's the future tense. The future tense, just like the keyword, the future, something that is going to happen, soon. It has not yet happened, but it's going to happen soon, relatively soon. And soon might be in the next minute, might be in the next hour, next year. It depends, it varies. So we have two key subdivisions, the future progressive tense and the future perfect tense. The future progressive tense and the future perfect tense. Now, the future progressive tense simply illustrates an action that will be in progress in the future, that will be ongoing in the future. Like when that particular action starts in the future, it is not something that will start and stop immediately. It is going to take a while. That's progressive. It is going to, be ongoing for a while. For example, it says, I will be spending the Christmas period in Abuja. I will be spending the Christmas period in Abuja. Now, I will be spending shows that it will take a time, not that I'm just going to spend a day. And even the fact that it's a Christmas period shows that it's going to take a while, probably 2, 3 days. So the individual will be spending the Christmas period in Abuja. So will be, now take note, will be, that's the future tense. I will be doing this thing. Now spending is what shows a progressive aspect. Spending shows that it is going to be continuous. It is going to be for a while in Abuja. All right, the second subdivision rather, is the future perfect tense. The future perfect tense. The future perfect tense simply shows that at the end of a particular period, the action would have been completed. At the end of a particular period in the future, the action we're talking about would have been completed. For example, by the end of the month, probably this month, of course, this month, today is 14th. By the end of the month, maybe around that 29, 28, thereabouts, he will have trained 4 drivers. By the end of the month, he will have trained 4 drivers. That means this particular action of training drivers would have been completed at that particular period of time. That's the end of the month. All right, so that is the future perfect tense. A brief recap of what I've discussed so far. Like I told you, it is not a new topic to all of you. We've talked about this in our previous class, and even in your junior classes, tenses is a recurrent part of English language. And I explained that it is divided into 3 main aspects. That's the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. The present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. Now, these 3 basic aspects are subdivisions. It has subdivisions on their own. Now, the present tense has a simple present tense, the present continuous tense under it. Same thing too with the past tense. It also has its own divisions, subdivisions, and the future tense also has its own subdivisions. So, what you're going to do to revise your knowledge of these tenses is that you're going to learn as much examples as possible. So it is these examples that will help you to differentiate each aspect from the other. These examples will help you to differentiate each subdivision from the other. For example, we have our past perfect tense. We also have past perfect continuous tense. So it is the examples that will differentiate between the past perfect tense and the past continuous tense. So I want to reiterate again that you should go back to your notes. Check the definitions. I gave you simple definitions that you can easily grab. Check the definitions and the examples. You have at least two examples for each one. Then with also our video class now, I also gave you examples. So please check the examples, work with it, practice more examples on your own, and also attempt the exercise that you have there. All right, so please let your English textbook be a part of you during this period, and make it your friend, and practice daily. Practice daily your comprehension, your summary, your letters and structure. Practice, take exercises daily, particularly during this period. And please, for those of you that are yet to get your past questions, the booklet that has past questions, please try to get it during this time and start practicing. You can get a separate note for that. Practice year after year, try it on your own, write your own essays, and prepare yourself. When we resume, by God's grace, when we meet again, I promise you I'll run through all your assignments, all the exercises that you do on your own. I'll run through it, I'll mark it. So please make maximum use of this time and practice more on your past questions. Your WAEC and all other examination bodies and all other exams is around the corner. So please start practicing and get used to your English language as much as possible. God will continue to keep us safe, and my regards to everyone at home. Stay safe. Bye.